about you. Nobody gives a fuck about you. And that's why you're so pressed on all the damn psychic tarot channels trying to interrupt, be disruptive. So now that you've got your little fucking attention, go suck a dick. Okay? Now, as I was saying, all right, Jaidyn versus Chrisean. Okay, and how does Chrisean feel about Jaidyn and vice versa? Everybody is preparing for Blue to come home. And again, as I was speaking and saying what the fuck I had said, all right, here, when it comes to the baptism, the holy water, and all, it's giving spiritual bath, it's giving an exodus or a sabbatical to, well, Jerusalem is gone, I think. Okay, here, but something more is needed. All right. When you are in those Hollywood elite occult witches, warlock circles that engage in satanic practices, sacrifice, all of that, you can't just go, to know any church. And this ain't no tea and no shade to whatever church she visit, but you need something that has anointing and real Holy Ghost power. Okay, here and wherever she's been going, facts, okay, because I can see it. I've had this gift since I was a kid. I'm able to see entities and spirits on people, okay, and there is an active one. You can't just be going to some mega pastor or local preacher. You need somebody that has real fucking anointing, okay, to bless and cleanse and get that the hell up off of you. But I honestly don't think she wanted up off of her, okay. That being said, moving on. All right. Everyone I feel is moving strategically because of those facts. Because when you are operating in the arena and area and know what you're dealing with, as far as, again, the celebrities, the occult practices, and all of that, people are just trying to protect themselves. Okay. Here. All right. So moving on and moving forward, let's get the energy now. The person who requested this video, baby girl, I had a little bit of trouble discerning. Okay, trying to figure out what you was trying to say. So I'm gonna just do a basic, how they feel, okay, about each other. So let's get oracle energy for Chrisean towards Jaidyn. All right. I'm hearing girls girl. Okay, girls girl. So maybe somebody feels like someone is a girl's girl and they aren't. Okay. Chris does give off masculine, energy. Okay, it could be from upbringing, childhood. I think she's from Baltimore. I really don't know Jaidyn's story too much. I know like corners of the story. I don't know like the supreme details. All right, but that could have something to do with any insecurities or this. Damn, I gotta find a different playlist. That could have something to do with the beef. All right, here. Um, if somebody feels insecure because maybe they feel one person is more feminine than the other person. All right, here. Yeah, okay. So instead of moving on, I'm moving. Now I got the impression from the person that requested the reading that maybe Blueface is coming home to Jaidyn. Chrisean has moved on, I think, okay. Um, to whoever else. All right. And then the bottom, I have a degree in, I don't know. I think Jaidyn has a degree in something. Okay. So that could be it also. All right. Here I saw something about royalty. So it could be, again, she is, quote unquote, kind of like the first lady. She has blue faces, first kids and all that. The family, she threw a birthday party for the baby boy. All the family came, all his friends came to. It looked like heavy security at that party. I know Blueface is, a celebrity. He's currently in jail, but when I saw the baby, his oldest son's party, and I saw like all the Crips and the security, and I was just like, it just made me feel some type of way. Like the family intuitively is giving me, they feel like their life is in danger. And I don't feel like it's just from, regular fans or some kind of fans running up or something like that. It's very much giving like something's going on behind the scenes that they're concerned about. All right. So again, I'm hearing royalty. And again, since she is, the first baby mom, okay, here. So it could be I'm asking again, what Chrisean, her feelings against Jaidyn. Let's go Jaidyn against Chrisean, okay? So for what I'm gathering, either Chrisean feels like, she's not moving on. And I'm sure it's like somebody needs to get out of the way, or somebody feels like maybe if she was out of the way, then, Blueface could move on, or she wouldn't have anybody to compete with. There's some energy here. I'll clarify it. So Jaidyn's energy towards Chrisean, okay? Um, the person with the most armpit hair gives out a drink. So this could be something about hygiene. All right. Here, and again, there's something about masculine versus feminine energy. I keep hearing girly girl, tomboy type of energy. How I'm keeping it all together. Okay, so she could feel, just it's just so much going on, and that's what I'm picking up. All right, here, and then we have in the middle, I'm obsessed with. So there's just like overriding, okay, energy of envy and obsession. Okay, so let's clarify. All right. So Chrisean uh to Jaidyn, okay, with the energy of moving on. Instead of moving on, I'm doing X, Y, and Z, or X, Y, and Z is going on. Now I need I think Chrisean is a Pisces, I believe. Chrisean rock zodiac sign. Pisces. Jaidyn Alexis zodiac sign. Libra. Okay, just in case they pop up and I know. All right. Okay. So with this moving on energy, let's clarify. All right, so we had splitting a hotel room 7 ways. All right, so this could indicate money problems, okay, that Chrisean may be having, and maybe it could possibly signal some envy and some envy, insecurity on her part, because, like I said, Jaidyn is provided for and taken care of. Period. Okay, she ain't gotta rob people. She goes out, she works, and she hustles. She always has from appearances, okay. But I also feel like that Blueface makes sure, okay, because of the kids and all of that. His family makes sure, she needs anything, she's covered, right? And Chrisean could possibly envy that because she's on her own. She really don't have anybody. She really doesn't get along with her family. Allegedly, apparently, from what I gather the various times I see them on the timeline. So, she feels like, there's this kind of disgruntled energy because she has to kind of struggle to get it how she lived and make shit happen, so to speak. And so it's kind of like that kind of prevents her, or may have prevented her in times before, moving on. She may have just stayed connected for financial reasons, okay? Here, even if she personally wanted to move on, or the fact, again, when someone is envious or jealous of another person, you stick around because it's just, you know, that's why. Because why does she get everything? Dating a magician. I was talking about witches and warlocks and witchcraft and all of that. Okay. Listen, I have always said, now, you know what? That's another thing, too. Now, before, everything that went left and everybody was Blueface was in jail, when he was out and trolling and had both of them girls and all that, I have always said, honestly, I believe that it was a warlock. Like, I'm like, what is it? Okay, because it was giving brain control, mind control. I'm like, man, what is it? I know he got that pimp in it, you know, but and that could energy. I do feel like something has backfired, or some type of magic, or some type of, again, brainwashing, mind control, pimpology, or whatever, and then we have magician here dating a magician. We know that Diddy trial is coming up. She was at the Diddy parties and all that. Like, that's a whole different field. That's a whole different, so when you get introduced to those things, again, I feel like something has backfired, mutated, and now you know, suffering allegedly apparent, okay, abuse she may have suffered or endured with Blueface and felt like powerless in certain situations until, there was a point where Chrisean's star got bigger and she was in the inner circle. She was moving in places where he just wasn't. You know what I mean? She was with everywhere, with everyone, like big, that's a different, so she kind of raised, up the ladder, up the stairs, a different hierarchy, and I feel like she got a couple tools, a couple, rituals, couple things under her belt. And, she put herself in a position, you know what I mean? You do all kind of crazy things when you feel backed into a corner, right? And so it's giving, you know, at the beginning of the relationship where she may have started out in a position where she felt like she didn't have no power. And then people, kind of felt sorry for her and, started reaching out like, hey, come over here, come hang out. Of course, that was for ulterior motives, all right, here. And, it was like she saw it as her way out. So, again, you make all kind of crazy choices when you're trying to get, claw your way out of a corner, or you're trying to defend yourself or protect yourself, especially when you feel by yourself. Now, when she's moving in those, occult circles and all that, the game changes, okay, real quickly, real rapidly. And so suddenly the person that you may have cowered from, that you may have been afraid from, you don't have to be afraid of anymore because you got real friends, real, okay, kind of, okay, and witches and warlocks and people, you know what I mean, that know people that can do things and make some shit happen and make some shit shake, okay, here. So that may be why, I can, she says, I moved on now, or I can move on because I don't have to worry about, I ain't worried about what you do or what your homies do or whatever, because I got real movers or whatever. It's kind of the energy that I'm getting here. Okay. Here. All right. But again, I also feel that just that warlock energy, the power he had over those two women, maybe even still has to this date. Okay, I don't know. I think, Alexis or Jaidyn moved on a little bit too, but it all, everything, we'll see when he get out. Okay. I should have a degree in. Okay, so again, this is Chris's energy towards Jaidyn, men my age. All right, here now. I don't know Jaidyn's history. I don't know if she was violated. Okay, here from a young age. I believe that's part of Chrisean's history. So again, that could be part of the envy and jealousy if that is not part of Jaidyn's upbringing. Okay, that she was protected and spared from all of that. Maybe she, no, no, Blueface is her childhood sweetheart, right? So there's that envy too. I had a degree in men my own age. So it's the, they kind of have that hood love story that he's her childhood sweetheart, and again, I don't know her history or anything that happened in the past, but that may be how Chrisean is viewing it, right? I didn't even get a childhood. Well, no, she had Ronnie, but okay, it's something like that. All right, here. There's something here where she kind of envies something that she had to go through that she feels like Jaidyn didn't have to go through. All right. Creating drama and in low stress, creating drama in low stress environments. Yeah. Jaidyn keeps her cool. All right. Jaidyn keeps her cool. That could be another thing that she envies, right? Chrisean talks openly about, her feelings, how she gets emotional, how she wiles out, and even the situation where when they were all out of jail and there was all this drama, all this social media, I don't think I've seen a clip where Jaidyn was like, and bitch, da da da. I don't know. If she says something, she might be like, yeah, you're just mad at this, and that's okay. Or she might not even say nothing. She might, Chrisean could black out, and Jaidyn will just post a picture of her, feeding her kids a nice healthy dinner, and that will just eat a bitch. You know what I mean? So I feel like she envies the way she transmutes energy and how she really can't get under Jaidyn's skin, no matter how grimy or low or whatever. Jaidyn will just say something and keep it moving, right? And it creates that scenario where a lot of people have felt like, Jaidyn is, she minds her business, she takes care of her kids, she's the better baby mom. And so there's kind of that competition or whatever, here. It's kind of what I'm getting, right? Um, Her grounding, okay, how she, how everybody views her as the more grounded uh, girlfriend, baby mother, all of that, and how they kind of look at Chrisean as like this quote unquote crash out or whatever, right? All right, so Jaidyn with Chrisean. Again, there's something here about masculine tomboy type of energy, questionable hygiene, questionable, maybe alcohol addictions or such. Okay. Here, and she may even feel like Chrisean tries to tempt others. Again, there was a scenario where, for a brief second, they joined forces against Blue and was hanging out and drinking and, all of that. And, they had to drop off the babies. And, you know, I feel like it's coming from that area, things that Jaidyn has witnessed behind the scenes from Chrisean, and that brief moment where they kind of linked up, to say a big F you to Blue or whatever was going on. Right here, she may have felt like she tempted her to do more than she normally does or engages in. I mean, I don't know, because they just showed me a picture of Jaidyn with Blueface, and you know, she's had her moments too where she didn't look so favorable on camera and was kind of, checked out, whatever. It says dancing alone at gay bars because literally no one wants to fuck me. Now there is some energy here, okay. Um I feel like she low key a little disgusted that he chose her. All right, here. There is some LGBT energy here. Maybe she feels like that's another part of it. Bitches that are jealous of you, just like because they want to sleep with you, or part of them wants to sleep with you. Again, I keep hearing that girly girl because I'm a real bitch. I'm a real girl, or something like that. All right. And again, there's this energy, it's kind of like when you see the person that the person who comes after you or who your ex is trying to make you jealous with, you're like, damn, you you fucked her, you fucked that. Oh, we will never ever, you know what I mean? It's kind of giving like just disgust. Like sometimes you see their new whatever was supposed to be, better than you, and sometimes what a nigga will do, a narcissist will do, they will get with the grimiest, dirtiest, bummiest, disgusting bottom of the barrel, scaly, you know what I mean? And then be parading that person all around, flaunting them, kind of like he was doing right here. I'm just saying in general, though, what men will do, they won't even get like a top 10. They'll get a grimy bitch, someone they know that you'll be disgusted by, and use them to try and triangulate you to attack your ego. That's kind of what I am getting here. Like even if I was gay, I wouldn't want to fuck that unless I was drunk or something like that. It's something like that where she's kind of disgusted a little bit. All right. Um, Here there's some okay, okay, I'm gonna get off of that. All right, so there's other energy here about the stress of the entire situation, the stress of Chrisean entering, and at the end of the day, Blueface brought this, chaos into their lives. Okay. Now, when we met Blueface, I mean, he had the rap song, but we also met him when he had the house with all the girls, and everybody like, what the fuck is going on? Okay, so mind you, again, it's him bringing all this chaos into their lives. Okay, but after all of those girls left, Chrisean being the crescendo. Okay, of like fuck, when everything went left. Wearing sunglasses and a bad attitude. Yeah, that's definitely her energy. Jaidyn's energy here. Like, and 90% of the time when I've seen her on social media, she has on sunglasses and she just kind of, maybe that's how she hides what she's really going through here. Okay. Clarify again. So she says that that's kind of a shield, a barrier. So people really don't know what she's going through, behind the scenes. And Chris does it also. Um, Too. Okay. And I feel like she's calling that out about Chrisean, wearing the glasses, hiding how really foul she is. So that's what I heard, like foul. She is personality wise, all of that, okay, behind the scenes. All right. quoting books I've never actually read. This tells me she doesn't believe in her Christianity, this whole Christianity shtick, all of that. Yeah, kombucha, diet coke. There's something I feel like they must talk about each other's bodies or something like that. There's some kind of competition here when it comes to looks or whatever here. But anyway, Jaidyn, it appears allegedly, apparently, that she doesn't buy, Chrisean's Christianity thing, and there's the energy. How people quote the Bible, well, this, and the Bible says this, and the Bible, and then meanwhile, they are living absolutely foul and demonic behind. You're like, how are you quoting the Bible and you just snaked me last week, or how are you quoting the Bible and you just did X, Y, and Z? How are you know what I mean? How are you quoting the Bible and you just did, a plate full of drugs last night? How are you preaching and teaching and singing and doing, what I mean? I know, yeah, it's giving, yeah, like I know you in real life, okay? Is what Jaidyn is basically saying to Chrisean. Like, not even understanding how people don't see through it. Here, like, do people see this? Because I know this girl in real life and she's not really about that life. Okay. It's just I'm hearing a shtick or something like that. All right, is what she could be implying, allegedly and apparently. All right. So I'm gonna use my haters exposed oracle. All right, and see what evil eye energy they throwing at each other. Okay. This will really reveal the hidden whatever. Okay. So Chrisean towards Jaidyn. What's the hater energy? Dark entities are using these people to work against you. Yeah, I said once she got in them circles with Diddy and all of them, all right, it's giving witchcraft, voodoo, all of that, allegedly, apparently. When I see that girl, like, I don't, okay, like, that's why I said she need, like, bless her heart. If she wants it for real, like, I don't know, girl, I don't know. It's giving reprobate intuitively. It's giving reprobate, but it could also be a scenario, where she really wants it and she doesn't understand why the darkness or why this energy, these entities haven't left her. It's like, I'm going to church, I'm going to do that. That's because you're not, the wherever you're going doesn't have the real anointing. All right. You need to find somebody with real anointing and real, waters to get that up off of you. All right. Here, but yes, dark entities are being sent allegedly, apparently, towards Jaidyn. Okay, Chrisean towards Jaidyn. Again, what's the hater energy? What's the evil eye energy? Stealing your ideas and pretending they invent them. So real copycat, real single white female type of energies. Okay. And it a lot of women, this happens in everyday life. Okay. That's why it pays, even if you do go to church and the church will say, oh, don't listen to them tarot readers, don't listen to them spirituals, they're witches, they're what. No, we're the ones really telling you what to look out for, and we're not saying that prayer don't work and the blood of Jesus don't work. All of that works, all right? But God also gave us a brain to get wisdom and get educated, okay? You wondering why you keep going through your house and you done stubbed your damn toe and hit this and bruised this 20 times in one day. That's because somebody throwing some fucking, whatever, okay? And you think you're just clumsy, okay? Or why your money start going weird, or why your hair falling out, all right? You need to know what to rebuke. And you don't know what to rebuke if you don't know the signs, and you're just thinking that it's just a random day when it's really somebody throwing something at you, okay? I feel like a lot of the preachers, again, they try to denounce it because they don't want women to get the education on how to protect themselves really spiritually. A lot of that is through knowing your ancestors, knowing your heritage, knowing how they protected themselves, because once you get wise and you get wisdom and you get that education, you'll be able to see through a lot of the lies that come from the pulpit, or anybody trying to come at you spiritually or just in person in general in life. All right. That wisdom gives you insight and it increases your discernment. All right. In areas where you may be blind. Okay. And it could be getting attacked and you just don't even know, because your preacher is fear mongering, you into saying, oh my God, crystals are, they're evil. But baby, it's okay. It's a crystal. It's a crystal. All right. It holds energetic properties. Our bodies have energy in them, frequencies. Okay. You could use it to heal. Okay. But you have to educate yourself, right? But don't do it. Like you're going to go to hell. Baby, you're not going to go to hell over holding a pretty. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. And some of that you have to use common sense. All right. So, Jaidyn towards Chrisean. Okay. Hater energy, evil eye. All right. I would be surprised if she was really sending or wishing anything on me. Jaidyn being a Libra, I don't know. She just really don't give me that. And see, I just said that, right? Unexplained body welts and bruises. This could be something that happens to her. And again, you see the LGBT energy. You know, the unfortunate thing is this situation may have just given her so much hell. And again, I don't know if she, um, because I believe she was in like a same-sex relationship, allegedly, apparently not too long ago. Now, I don't know if she's ever tried that before or what was going on, but it kind of gives me the energy of, when you've been through just some crazy shit and you're like, man, I'm never, you know what I mean? This is enough for me to cross over. Okay, the picket lines and go play on the other side of the street, because I'll be damned if I deal with this again. She still got to deal with them though, because she got them kids, 18 years, 18 years, and unfortunately the tie to, Chrisean with, so that may be, but this says unexplained body welts, bruises and scratches. Like I said, that is a sign of, um, witchcraft and entities and trickster spirits being sent to your home. All right, so that could be a clarification, like, yes, that is happening. Okay, here, and again, yeah, personality disorder. They don't know how to be themselves. She could very much be aware. It's kind of giving me like Jaidyn may feel Chrisean has a fatal attraction. Okay, and a literal attraction, same-sex attraction, but Jaidyn doesn't see her like that. She is not attracted to her. Again, like some about masculinity or hygiene or whatever. And again, the fact of, she feels like she'll look cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. All right. Now, like I said, now here in the middle, it says spirit team. Okay. Angels and ancestors and gods. Okay. Got your back. So her spirit team is, okay, definitely showing up to protect her. The spiritual is in the middle of all of this. Okay. Here surrounding her. But again, as I said, intuitively, you know, Jaidyn, here, yeah, it says unintentional. They don't realize they're sending you evil eye. Whereas she wouldn't do that. Okay, she's not. She just isn't grimy like that. She's very, 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 very mature. To an extent, grounded. Energy. I don't know her whole chart. Somebody could put it down below. Both of everybody's top three: Blues, Chrisean's, and Jaidyn's. All right, but there is no intentional hater energy here. Okay, she ain't got time. She got a house, she got kids, she just ain't got fucking time. Give me a third card over here since I got three. Over here, causing unexplained body pain and numbness. I picked this for Chrisean. Yeah, so definitely sending some allegedly, apparently, witchy poo. Okay, here. All right. So Jaidyn could um probably use a or get some kind of evil eye deflector cleansing, just protective things around her. Everybody need a spiritual cleanse. Okay, here, I don't know if Jaidyn goes to church or whatever, but she could call somebody, or she bruja, I don't know, her ancestors, her heritage, she could use that to kind of spiritually defend herself. Okay, here, all right, let's close it up. um yeah, with the tarot, I got two different decks here. Now what's interesting is both decks are two different sizes. You see, this is a little bit thicker and this is a little bit thinner. I went to go grab this for Chrisean. I said, no, I'm going to start with Jaidyn. And as soon as I grabbed this one, I said full deck. All right. So it's the energy. Maybe she feel like, Chrisean ain't operating with a full deck. Okay. We usually say that when somebody is delulu. All right. Jaidyn versus Chrisean. Jaidyn versus Chrisean. Close it out with the tarot. This is my deck was upside down. I feel like intuitively she knows that, she's jealous of her. She feels this intuitively, all right, that she's coming for her. She's jealous. She's throwing that evil eye because, this would be Jaidyn here in the front, Chrisean in the middle, in the back, looking at her, right? I feel like intuitively with this high priestess, she knows that she wants to trade places with her, kind of swap destinies with her, destiny swapping with this wheel of fortune for Blueface. Okay, here, right? And with this high priestess energy, Blueface is like, Jaidyn is like, girl, you shouldn't even technically want to swap places because at the end of the day, he a child. Okay, he a child. He always gonna be a child. He ain't never gonna grow up. He's never going to be like a real man, a real husband. You know what I mean? Like I know a lot of things that you don't know are right here, and she knows that a lot of the alleged apparent witchcraft that she may be throwing at her. Again, word witchery, which can be done through videos when you say stuff, you speak curses and all of that. You know what I mean? She knows that she's secretly trying to come for her. Here's the 10 of Wands. Okay, she's very well of aware, and I just feel like she feels like she knows Chrisean is in a lot of pain, okay, behind the scenes, and a lot of that pain is because of the secrets that Chrisean carries, and she doesn't talk about. All right, and so Jaidyn knows that any of this, magic or manipulation is form a source of pain. It really don't have anything to do with her. You know what I mean? But she's aware of it, okay, and that there's a level of immaturity there, a room to grow, that she needs space and time to grow, and that a lot of the envy projected towards her is because she is grown, because she is grounded. All right, and because everybody sees Jaidyn as the real winner, as the real wife, and all of that. Okay, so it's crazy when somebody is throwing evil eye, witchcraft, wishing on your demise, your downfall, and all of that, and you're kind of able to look at the entire situation from a mature stand. And this is like, you don't even know, what you're crashing out over. What you're crashing out over is just not even worth it. Like I can tell you, it's kind of like, girl, I know this nigga since, high school, since he was 12. This ain't nothing you want to crash out. You know what I mean? You'd be better off just moving on. And, it's bad enough I got to deal with the childish shit, It's bad enough I'm stuck with it. So it's almost like you're crashing out over karma that at the end of the day, I wish I could trade. You want my destiny? She might even say, sure. Here, I don't think, she's not losing her mind over Blueface. So it's not really no um competition. I feel like Jaidyn puts on, even when, Blueface, proposed to her and all, it's kind of just like to keep the peace. I feel like her main motivation is just to keep the peace so she can have some fucking peace. All right. Okay, I'm going with Chrisean. Okay, good. Great. Okay, now it's like, okay, good. I can get my kids to school on time. I can fucking cook for them, you know. He ain't in the house, he ain't bugging me. I ain't got I ain't got to worry about him being here, and I'm trying to get sober or whatever. You know what I mean? I feel like she's like, great. And then if he comes home, he's like, okay, I want to get married. I want to be a family. She's like, okay, great. I just feel like the number one thing is just so she can have peace. Okay, cool, great. If you like it, I love it. All right. But it's not, I don't think competition with Chrisean is not even in her mind. She's just seeing it from a higher perspective, and it's almost she deals with her from the insight and the foresight of like, girl, I wish I could just, and maybe she even tried to tell her when they were kicking it together. You know what I mean? Like, girl, he ain't shit. Okay, like the best thing you can do, I'm here from you, I'll help you or whatever, but and I'll try to work with you so we can all, I feel like that was the motive, that was the move. I'll work with you so we can all have peace or whatever. That's just her main thing. Like, girl, I just want quiet. I just want, here, and I just want to get my money and feed my kids and be a great mom, and you coming in or him, she has a little bit of her own celebrity. That's great. That's amazing. All right. Wasn't even trying to be a rapper. I'm gonna put, okay, Jaidyn, now you're a rapper. Okay, great. You like it. I love it. That seems like okay. Whatever, whatever helps you win. Great. Great. I'm gonna go with Chrisean. I'm marrying Chrisean. I'm in jail. Great. Okay. Now I can get some peace and quiet. That's the overwhelming energy I feel from Jaidyn. Okay. And not even looking at, Chrisean is not a competition. It's just like, damn girl, I wish, I wish you peace. I wish you health. I wish you whatever he has said in that song. Okay, it's kind of that. All right. Closing it out, Chrisean towards Jaidyn. And I understand it. I get it. And it ain't nothing you can do. I get that so much because I got bitches coming for me, big coming for me, bitches and niggas. You grown as fuck, got billions of dollars in your bank account, childish and mature, and spend all day and night stalking, trying to ruin, sabotage, do all like you're obsessed day and fucking night. Like, grow the fuck up. Like, what's wrong with you? At some point, that's how you look at people. You're like, damn, it's something wrong with you. You know what I mean? Like, is something wrong with you? How are you winning at life? Well, you must not be winning at life because you're spending an enormous amount of time trying to destroy others or trying to come for others. All right, here we got Ace of Cups. So it's definitely giving, there's that LGBT energy again. Love. Okay, I saw 3911. Okay, so it could be secret again in my admiration. Okay, and I get it, but I'm like, damn, girl, before you met Blueface, you were the shit. We talk about it all the time, or people talk about it all the time, posting your old pictures on the internet, how you were an athlete, and you know what I mean? It was given a different world. Chrisean was given Spelman College, and she didn't have the best scenario growing up. But from that little time period, again, I don't know what was happening, when they posted track pictures and all of that. It's like, girl, go back there. Okay, go back to right before you met his ass. And I understand times get hard. We do dumb shit and then we meet these characters and but you can't, maybe you say, well, I can't regret it because, I wouldn't be making the kind of money. I get it, but it's kind of like you wasn't chopped liver, okay? You can admire somebody, but it's like, no, bitch, you was the shit too, right before all of this happened, okay? Here you just got in a tight spot and you look for an opportunity to get on, to get put in, then it just kind of went left, right? But Ace of Cups shows love for me again. Let me clarify again, okay? Chrisean towards Jaidyn. Bull, Seven of Swords is on the bottom. No, Ace of Wands, like Ace of Pentacles, Ten of Wands, like it's giving fatal attraction. It's giving single black female. Okay. Knight of Cups, Three of Pentacles. I want it to be us. And if it can't be us, it can't be nobody. I don't see this nigga nowhere in here. Is this nigga anywhere in here? I don't even think he. Okay, it is giving obsession. That's why that card was in the middle. Obsession. All right. One person overly obsessed with another, and another person that just really want to be left the fuck alone. Another person, Jaidyn just really wanting everybody to grow the fuck up, get some damn sense, but no, that's probably not going to happen. And so in the meantime, okay, maybe she might have to pack up and re-fucking locate. Like, I don't know. That may be the only way she gets some fucking peace. Because as long as you're, with those type of energies and entities, as long as you're in proximity, it's always going to be something. Like, bitches giving out of sight, out of sight, out of mind. Go worry and focus on somebody else. Okay. What is Blueface Zodiac sign? Aquarius. All right. I don't see this motherfucker nowhere up here. Ain't been in nan reading. Okay. Even though I'm asking about them, you would think so since the focus and the beef, okay, is supposed to be over him, but he ain't nowhere up in this not for real, okay, a little bit in the beginning, but again, Jaidyn's like, he ain't nothing to crash out over. He ain't nothing to be jealous over. And so maybe they've even gotten past that hump because for all intents and purposes, you know, Ace of Cups, Seven of Swords, the Chariot, Ace of Wands. It looks like that Chrisean wants something, some type of relationship, some type of something, and Jaidyn is resisting that because, girl, you're a crash out, and you done been over there in them circles with them people and dibbling and dabbling. I can't have that around my fucking kids. You shouldn't have it around your kid. All right, is what this is giving. And so with that Ace of Pentacles and that Ten of Wands, again, it's giving sabotage. If you can't make no money with me, I'm gonna try to blacklist you. I'm gonna talk shit about you. I'm this. Because at the end of the day, Knight of Cups with this Three of Pentacles, I got some kind of feelings, affections towards you. I want us to work out and all that. And she's just like, no, girl, this is a solo trip. And I get the feeling also that, too many things have been said again, and the name of, here he is now, uh, King of Swords. Again, Chrisean has this sight of blue, okay, going at the way that she's came at her over blue. She's wondering, like, why can't I make no progress with Jaidyn? Because of the way you crashed out and said some crazy shit, you know what I mean? All over a nigga that you see is like this, okay? All over a nigga that values her as a wife, values her as a husband, truly does love her, King, of Cups, right here, and treat you crazy, will leave you in a second, okay? And so you're doing all of this, sneaky stuff behind the scenes, Eight of Wands, not attacking the family, like, and then you say, well, let's get together, and then you're mad because she's like, absolutely the fuck not, okay? After you done did all of that, no, girl, you are a security threat. I got little kids, what I mean? I can't be fucking with you, you know? And she could say a lot, but she doesn't, right? And it's the fact that Chrisean has said a lot, you know. So that's okay. That's what it is. And so it's like, because of that, you still want to come for me because of that. Now you got the devil. You allegedly, throwing witchcraft hexes and sacrifice spells and all of this shit, at me, my family, all of that. With the tower trying to take me out over a nigga that's not even worth it. Okay. A period. 4 4 4 4 in that order. All right. Wanting to be in her shoes, wanting to be with her, being her, it's destiny swap. Okay. But for all due respect, bitch ain't okay. Ace of Swords, girl. All right, like, that ain't nothing. Okay, to want. It's nothing to aspire to. Being his wife or whatever you think. Okay, scenario, respectfully, that's nothing to aspire to. And I feel like she's tried to tell you that. I feel like she's tried to tell you, like, girl, at the end, why? Why do you even want him? Is what Jaidyn would say to Chrisean. Why do you even want him? Girl, you're a bigger star than him now. You are the star. Okay? Over time, you've become even bigger than him. And he knows that. All right? He knows that. So, if there was anything, that would be the reason you keeping him relevant. All right, Four of Wands, Queen of Cups. She says, I tell you this with all of the love and wishing you well and wishing you the best. Like, I wish you loved yourself enough. I wish you healing. I wish you peace. You know what I mean? I wish you loved yourself and you could see yourself and you could see what I see in you, to know that you can have better, you deserve better. Again, like I said in the beginning, you know if she truly wants to be saved, if she truly wants some salvation, but she has been dibbling and dabbling in those circles, she's gonna need some strong shit to break that off for her, if she truly desires that. I mean that sincerely. Now, confession, is good for the soul, whatever, but I feel like even Jaidyn can see, like, this ending really bad, for Chrisean, if she doesn't get those things up off of her, because when you go around and you're sending all of that energy to other people and making these calls and, moving in these shadows, doing these things, that comes back to you, that catches up with you. All right. Somebody said something about the baby, but I'm not talking about that precious baby. All right. Here, but I feel like deep down, Chrisean knows that. All right. When you do those things and you carry that energy, it tends to have karmic blowback, right? And so she's saying even now, like if you don't get some help, it's she sees it ending even bad, like not nowhere good. Yes, you need Jesus. Yes, salvation. I don't know, girl. Okay, you need something real strong. All right. So anyway, that's what I have for this reading. I don't know why they were working so hard to again probably just being annoying as fuck. All right, thinking they know or thinking they whatever and don't know shit about nothing. All right, hopefully they can find them some business or go get some counseling, figure out how to love their wife or figure out how to come out as a gay man instead of pretending that they're straight and attacking women because they don't want nobody to know their secrets or whatever they do. Okay, corruptness or preying on black people because they hate them or whatever, girl, or you mad because you do all of this and he like a hood bitch like me, and meanwhile I don't like none of y'all. Like I don't know. Okay. I feel like Jade, okay? Like, girl, I wish y'all just gone somewhere, okay? So I can get back on with my kids. Like, I wish y'all the best. You can have it. Congratulations. Good luck. All right. Make sure you subscribe. And again, meet us over in VIP, Celebrity VIP, or All Access VIP for those exclusive readings and psychic predictions. One.